So today we're going to talk about how Christ came to fulfill the law. And it's right here in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. It says this: "Do not think I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." And this truly points to the Ten Commandments. Now, the Ten Commandments, if you don't know, are a set of laws or, commandments of God that this is what it's talking about. This is what he's talking about the law. If you don't know the Ten Commandments, we're fixing to go over them briefly. They're found in Exodus chapter 20. It lists out all the commandments, but we're going to go over them very, very quickly. In the first one, you shall have no other gods before me. So only one God, and that's Yahweh. Number 2, you shall not make for yourself a carved image. And this is talking about idols. It's like no false idols, no one before God, and no one beside God, really. This is talking about money, sex, social media, addictions, really anything that you would put in place of God to put all your attention and focus on. That's really what this one's harping out on. Number 3 is you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. That one's kind of self-explanatory. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5, honor your mother and your father. Number 6, you shall not murder. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. Number 8, you shall not steal. Number 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbors. This basically means don't lie. Don't talk down to, don't be mean to your neighbor. I mean, don't lie about them. And then number 10, you shall not covet your neighbors. And it lists off house, ox, mother, father, daughter, stuff like that. So basically just don't be envious of your neighbor. So now that we know the Ten Commandments, we know how hard those are to actually fulfill. And it actually tells us later in Matthew, Jesus goes deeper into it and tells us specifically how hard it is to at least not break 3 of them. And the 3 that he mentions in Matthew is number 6, you shall not murder. And Jesus tells us that even if you have anger in your hearts towards your brother, or you even talk down to him, calling him you fool, you have committed murder. So that one's right off the bat. Everyone's been mad at somebody at some point, or it's talked down to somebody. At least I know I have. Now, the next one is number 7. You shall not commit adultery. Now, Jesus tells us that even if we're in this committed relationship, we're in this marriage, and we're in one flesh, which is a huge covenant, with our wives, if we even think about lustful things or lustful objects in our head, we've committed adultery. So I know even just in past looking around with girlfriends, whatever, you've thought about other women, you've thought about other things instead of your wife. I know everyone has. I'm guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it, really. But that's just one way that we fall short and we've committed adultery. And then the next one is number 9. You shall not bear false witness. And Jesus teaches us simply to let our yeses be yes and our no's be no. And anything other than that simply comes from evil. And it's really one of those things where the more you start talking into a lie, or the more you're trying to justify a lie, you kind of go into that rabbit hole of not being able to pull back and say, well, I didn't mean that. Now you're kind of stuck in that lie because you've let your no's not be no's and your yeses not be yeses, and you've talked too much into them. And everyone does it. I've done it. Everyone does it at some point in their life. They do, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there's just 3 examples how easy it is to break these laws, and that's really a true testimony to Jesus Christ himself, because he was perfect. He was sinless. He did fulfill the law. And in that, he didn't commit a sin. He upheld every 10 of those commandments, and even every different angle of those commandments. Even whenever you have to dive deeper into it, the way that he did, he's held those. Now, this is really, really crazy, because the truth is that through that sinless human being is the sacrificial lamb of the Passover, like we talked about yesterday. And for that perfect of a person to be nailed to a cross for our sins so that we can be saved and we can have eternity with him, is crazy to think about. So I just invite you this Advent season to prepare for Jesus Christ and his perfect presence on earth